Yeah, it, yeah, bit. ये क्वेश्चन नहीं रहेगा. हाँ. I hope I'm audible, right? Rahul, can you help me? Is I am audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. So fine. So uh, I'm extremely sorry for the inconvenience which happened because of the technical issues. So first of all, a warm welcome to each one of you. Career Catalyst. Today I'm just launching a program. Okay, that is a talk show officially with Rahul. So Career Catalyst Experts Insight for Business Brilliance. This is what the talk show name, and I'm proudly present and I'm honored. Likewise, I can say I'm blessed to introduce Rahul with his new subject that is not for me it's a new subject. For him it's always new learning every time. For me it's a new learning from him. So it's like unleashing the power within, exploring NLP and hypnosis for personal transformation and growth. So before I introduce him, yeah, a short introduction of him is, in the moment of this uncertainty, I can't see Rahul, by the way. Yeah, I can see him now. Yeah. In this, in the moment of uncertainty and doubt in the business world, drawing inspiration from Simon Sinek, start with why, can be transformative by delving into the core purpose, the ignited, the entrepreneurial journey. Individuals can realign with their fundamental values and beliefs, integrating Rahul George expertise. And he is none other than India's premier hypnosis coach and founder of iHypnosis coaching. Adds a unique dimension through NLP and hypnosis. Rahul's empower entrepreneurs, digital coaches, and healers to delve deeper into the subconscious, or you can say unconscious, uncovering hidden motivations and overcoming timing beliefs, limiting beliefs, or you can say timing beliefs by combining Sinek's why and Rahul's insights. Digital coaches and healers can harness the power of introspection and subconscious reprogramming to navigate challenges with resilience and creativity, ultimately leading to the unparalleled success and fulfillment in their business endeavor. So this is a short introduction from about, you can say about Rahul. Rahul will give foremost information about the NLP and hypnosis, which he is launching now. So over to you, Rahul. Just uh, share about short how you want to help people with the NLP and hypnosis.
So let me start with the beginning. And firstly, thank you for inviting me to your maiden voyage on your. This is your podcast, isn't it?
Yes.
So firstly, wish you all the very best and congratulations as well.
Thank you. Yeah.
And I know you've been doing several interviews with people on YouTube. And in fact, when you reached out and you said that this is going to be your first officially launching as a podcast, it definitely made me smile that you've been on this journey now for some time, and something in you, made you want to start this as a podcast. So firstly, wish you all the very best, Debasmita. And I know you for some time now, and I know that you have a knack of drawing on people who are driven to make a difference. And it's it's a it's good to start the account like this. So wish you all the very best. And for a moment, for those of you who haven't met me or don't know me at this point, my name is Rahul George, and I am India's premier iHypnosis coach. Now, the reason why I've very, very specifically focused on iHypnosis is because my intention is to bring the best of hypnosis, the world of hypnosis, and of course, the world of NLP or neuro linguistic programming. So, my background over the last 2 decades has been focused on personal development. And over the years, I've been very blessed to have studied with some of the best trainers, some of the best teachers of not only hypnosis as well as neuro linguistic programming or NLP. And today, of course, I'm at a point where if you ask me who are my core people, people who I really, connect with, people who my heart goes out to, it is digital coaches and healers. So people like me who've been on this journey. So some of us have been, let's say post-COVID, we were inspired to not only seek help, but also help other people. And also, there are people like me. So it's like, if you, like me, have been in this space of personal development for maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years, maybe even longer, you are all my people. And today I'm at that point where I've been honing the skills of applying, of practicing not only NLP, but hypnosis. And I know that now is that time to really reach out to scale because, till a couple of years ago, it took a lot more to be able to scale the business, to be able to, when I say scale, to be able to reach out to more people. But of course, today, thanks to digital technology and, in 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 no uncertain terms, AI or artificial intelligence. I think today the combination is at a point where it's becoming more and more feasible to reach out to many people, whether it's in our own country, whether it's across countries. So that is really my intention to help more and more people. So maybe this is sort of like just the start of this conversation, and look forward to your questions. And I know there's a lot that I'd love to share with your audience.
Yeah. First of all, congratulations to me as well as to you, because I have completed 1 year in my coaching business. Yes,
Mm,
yesterday, and that is
congrats.
for you. Yeah, thank you. And that is only for you and Nina Punjabi, because you are
Mm,
the main person. Because I remember that I thought of leaving, okay, at a certain point, and you helped me to
mm.
get my purpose and then bring me back. Yesterday something happened with me as well. I was drooping and I was like, I was thinking of something. So anyways, I know that you are the survivor, always surviving me on from the drowning. Yes, please don't take a decision
By
while
survivor, you mean lifeguard or
life
survivor?
life part. Yeah. In that case, because yeah, as you have already mentioned, the way you are helping all the digital coaches and the healers,
Mm,
yeah, to at yeah certain point we all feel like we are dropping, right? As why
mm,
I have mentioned here the why, right? Because this exactly happens in the morning. I was watching one of the video where
mm,
it was stating that the people are losing their trust on themselves because they are
mm,
into procrastination, right? And
mm,
in the digital coaches, as a digital coaches, if I'm not getting result, right?
mm,
People are leaving on spot. No, I need the result right now, within 2 months or
mm,
3 months. Why I will wait for 5 years? Because
mm,
I can understand there is a pressure, family pressure. There is always there is trust issues, which is you are losing your trust. Then how
mm,
NLP and hypnosis will help for these digital coaches and leaders?
mm,
Yeah,
mm,
over to you. Yeah,
mm.
yeah,
So, is your question how will hypnosis and NLP help digital coaches
yeah.
or healers
Hmm.
from, what is it, from not losing hope? Is that the question?
Yes, not losing hope in the initial stage, because
Mm,
yeah, people start and think I am not getting a result, because
got it.
Yeah, within 3 months, 4 months, they are looking for a result. And then
Hmm.
after 6 months, they are not getting a result. They are becoming frustrated. No, it is not for
Right.
me. This is
Got
not
it.
my cup
Got
of
it.
tea.
Got it. So let me use one of the frames um, of making sense of this journey that we're on. Right. I definitely see the life of a digital coach. And of course, when I say digital coach, I mean essentially people who are coaches, people who are healers, but who
Right,
have recognized that in order to survive and to thrive,
right,
we need, or let's look at it this way, you can take advantage of the digital, whether you say, tools, digital technology, right? That's why when I say digital coaches and healers, I mean people who at the core of it are coaches and healers, but who have realized that it's important to have an online presence. It's
right.
important to be able to use these digital tools that are available. So coming back to your question, at one level, a lot of this has to do with mindset. And the simple way of answering this is, as a digital coach and healer,
Mm.
how often do you ask yourself this question? And this is the $1 million question, for those of you who, if you listen all the way to the end, obviously there's a lot more you'll get. But even
Yeah,
if you happen to just be here for a few moments,
yeah,
this is your takeaway, the biggest takeaway, right?
yeah.
Ask yourself this question, which is, what do you want?
Right.
Okay.
Mm.
Because, and again, I'll say this because it took me many years to find this question. So the question is, what do you want?
Yes.
And as long as you are willing to ask yourself this question and to keep coming back from time to time to review and ask yourself the question again, you will always find a way to to be able to tap into your own inner reserves, right?
Mm.
Because this journey that you've chosen to be on, which is to become a personal brand, by that I mean that when people think of some pain that they have in their life, they think of you. That will only happen when you become a personal brand, right? Uh, because in a sea and a world of so many people today who are in the process of becoming coaches and healers, the stronger your brand, the more people will remember you, the more people will reach out to you, and obviously you will continue to be in business. You will not only be able to feel good about yourself because, hey, you know what, I'm helping people, but that what you have to offer is going to be noticed, is going to be applied, and people will experience the power that that you already have. So coming back to your question, very, very simply put, to ask yourself this question, what do I want? That will constantly fuel you to keep going. Like you mentioned yesterday,
Mm.
it was your company's anniversary, your brand's anniversary,
Yeah,
but you had certain expectations, but it didn't necessarily pan out the way you had intended it to,
yeah.
right?
Yes.
And in fact, even yesterday, as it turns out, I had created so I do a solo pod called the iHypnosis Coach Speaks.
Yeah.
And I had talked about this on the pod as well yesterday, which is, if you allow yourself, and this is the second nugget, if you want to call it, or the gold dust, right? So the first one is, of course, ask yourself this question, which is, what do I want? The second is to practice zooming out, right? Z or Z, double OMING. So zooming out, like zoom in and zoom out, like the camera lens. So the more you practice zooming out, the more you will have longevity in this work that you've chosen to do, right? By that I mean that when you make it a point to not get sucked into whatever's happening right now. So it's like this. If you're succeeding, if maybe you're launching a course, or maybe you're creating content and people are responding to you, it feels good. But what about those days? What about those moments when it's not, right? And that's why I'm literally like looking at Zoom as I can see it on my screen. But it's literally this. It's like the more you practice zooming out, the more you will be in a position to keep coming back, to keep showing up, to keep creating. And if you ask me, the key to staying this long is showing up, right? Like they say, what is it? The 80% of success is showing up,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So this is just in a short way, I'm saying keep these two things in mind. Uh, if you are somebody, especially right now, if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling like nobody appreciates me, I have so much to give. There's so much that I know. There's so much that I learned, whether it is in the area of health or wealth or fitness, relationships. Maybe you've learned something. Maybe it's a tool. Maybe it's a practice that you want to teach other people. And if people aren't showing up, just remember to zoom out, right? And remember to ask yourself. It's like, here's the flip side to asking yourself the question, okay, what do I want? You'll notice for most of us, most of the time, we know clearly what we do not want.
Right.
Right? I don't want people to troll me. I don't want, only a few people showing up in my class or in my course, right? We are fixated on what we do not want. So the purpose of asking the question, which is what do I want, is also so that you can get clear about what it is you actually want.
Yes. Yes. To be very specific to the universe that I want this.
Over to you.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's very powerful. That is to be more specific in that thing that what I want in clearly. So it will
Mm-hmm.
definitely help us in getting the answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question is, how does NLP differ from traditional therapy
Mm,
approaches and what advance does it offer in facilitating personal growth and changes?
right. So again, I can only talk about what I know. I can only talk about my experiences. Over the years, I have experienced, what's called Rogerian counseling. So it's like anybody who has experienced some form of counseling, right? That is, you could say that is a therapeutic uh, medium. And of course, over the years, I have been very fortunate to have had some amazing teachers who have, I would say, who have worked with me using different modalities, whether it's Reiki, whether it's body work, um, NLP for that matter, hypnosis for that matter. So over the years, I have definitely experienced, different forms of healing and therapy. The way I would answer your question is this. It's not so much as how is it different. I'm saying at the end of the day, my recommendation, my suggestion would be if you are somebody who is, in fact, I'm just re-looking at your question, right?
Yeah,
Because it was a very, very, it's like multiple layers to it. Yeah. So your
yeah,
question was, how does NLP differ from traditional therapy approaches,
yes, absolutely.
right?
Mm.
So I would put it like this. A lot of what NLP or neuro linguistic programming focuses on is language, right? As the name suggests, the L in the NLP is language, right? So it is neuro linguistic programming. So the L part of the NLP is linguistic, which means it's everything to do with the language that we speak. It's everything to do with the language that we think. So it's not only when you're talking to somebody, but it's also when you are, like even right now, you and I on this call, we are thinking.
Yeah,
We're thinking in language. We're not thinking in pictures, right? Most
no,
often we're thinking in in
language.
in, in words. So when it comes to NLP specifically, a lot of the healing, a lot of the breakthrough that people have is in firstly becoming aware of the language that we're using. So, for example, if someone has the ability to use a lot of negative language, right? Fear-based language, right? It's like the way you think can either make you happy or happy-go-lucky and light, or it can make you anxiety-filled and anxious all the time, just by the words that you're speaking to yourself. not necessarily what people around you are saying. It's what's happening inside, right? So the point here is that when it comes to healing in particular, NLP focuses a lot on words. Okay. A lot of the other, even if I go by my own experiences of other healing modalities, right? Other healing, let's say, techniques, um, a lot of those, uh, a lot of those healing techniques are based on technique.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you're doing past life regression, if you're doing Reiki, so Reiki, a lot of it is symbolic, right? So you learn symbols and you practice symbols. If you look at, let's say, yoga or say Vipassana, right? The breathing, a lot of it is based more on sense or body, right? If you look at, let's say, and I've experienced this. If you look at, let's say, acupressure or acupuncture, I've
Yes.
experienced both,
Yes.
right? So a lot of those are somatic or body based.
Yeah.
We're not really focused on what is the person saying. Largely, it is the healing happens because of, let's say, the meridians that you're, the pressure points or the meridians that you're working on, right? That um, you're creating a different ripple, shall we say, by focusing on those, right?
Right.
So unlike a lot of those processes, here, largely you're focused on the words, right? Largely you're focused on the implication of what those words are. And so, by definition, if you change your words, you will literally change your life. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you asked for what are the advantages. There are some disadvantages. So if you don't know enough about language, right, then the degree of the healing that you will have some correlation there, right? So basically, it's like saying when you become more fluent in changing your language and being more aware of your language, you can have more healing,
Yes.
right?
Uh,
So there are obviously, like anything that is good, there is also bad in it. Make sense?
I'm scanning myself actually right now. I'm going with your words. Yeah, I'm also
Right.
scanning myself. Yeah.
So that's how I would answer it at this point. That yes, there are advantages to language, provided we are willing to uh, be expressive with our words. So, for example, um, typically, if you're talking to somebody and they are not being communicative, right, it makes it a little harder to be able to, like, you have to do a little more work to get them to express,
Yes.
right? But if somebody is naturally more easy with words, then of course it becomes fairly straightforward to help them change their thinking linguistically,
Yes.
right? So I would answer it this way, just to close this loop. I would answer it like this. I won't say one is better than the other. I
Yes.
would say each has its own. So, for example, if somebody is not verbally very expressive, I would not necessarily try and use my words or their words to make a change in their mindset. I would rather tell them, you run up and down the stairs and then come and sit and let's talk. Or you practice yoga, like you do, 5 Surya Namaskars or 108 Surya Namaskars, because that process itself will create an internal shift in them.
Yeah. As much as I talk to you, I am growing the greater insights because, as I always say, that you are being the encyclopedia. of NLP and hypnosis, because yes, wherever I am stuck, always Rahul, please help me, because I know there is something or task, means some bulbon will come, and
Mm.
that is the bulbon moment always comes. Now also I myself is hypnotized completely, because no, actually I'm into a trance, because I'm going deeper, scanning myself about the language, because I play a lot with the language, and I am sometimes, right, you always rectify me, no, this you have to I want, it should be not I have to change to I want, that is you did
So
this.
to put this into context,
Yeah,
a lot of us tend to have some of these words that we use a lot.
yeah,
We may say, I should be doing this, this, and this. Or
yeah.
we may say, I must do this, this, and this, right?
Mm.
If you just look at making one shift and you rephrase that statement on the lines of, I want to,
Mm.
or I am,
Right.
it will create a shift in the way that you think,
Yes.
right?
Right.
In the short run, like with anything, it will take some getting used to. But as you practice on an ongoing basis, you will find yourself being more natural in thinking like that, in speaking like that, and your behavior also will change over a period of
Yes. So moving towards the next question.
time. Mhm.
Yeah. Can you provide examples of how NLP techniques have been successfully applied in real world settings such as business or personal
Mm,
relationships?
mm. So I often crack this joke, and I will remind you again.
Yeah.
Our mothers,
Hmm.
our
Yeah.
mothers, in fact, my mom is
Mm.
literally at this point with us, she's visiting.
Yeah.
Our mothers are some of the best. In fact, they are, let me rephrase that. Our mothers are the world's best hypnotists and NLP practitioners. What
Yeah.
do I mean by that?
Mm. Yeah.
When
Because,
you are able to be convincing
hmm.
to somebody else, and
Hmm.
not only by force, right? So a lot of times in different situations where there is, let's say, a high status and a low status, by that I mean where somebody is taking on the role of, hey, I am calling the shots. It's like, the classical master and servant, meaning if the master, whoever it is, female, male, whoever it is who is calling the shots says, do this, and they do it, that is one kind of a relationship. But that's not the only relationship. Typically, in any situation, you have somebody that will lead, and you have somebody that will follow, right? Now, with mothers especially, they are very adept. They're very almost like in. It's almost like it comes from within.
Hmm.
That when you're a mother, this is kind of built in. And I'm saying this because we've all seen that
Hmm.
firsthand. Meaning we've all experienced. Most of us have experienced, even if it is for a few days or a few years or more. We've all experienced the power that a mother has in being able to get things done,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
That
Yes.
that that colloquial expression is
Mm.
to get shit done, right?
Ah. Right.
Like mothers especially know
Mm.
how to speak, what to say, when to say it, what tone to speak it in. That creates a change in the other person,
Right.
right?
Mm.
Why am I bringing up this example? Because when, say, you've talked about NLP specifically,
Mm.
if you go back to the origins of NLP, when it was Dr. Richard Bandler and John Grinder,
Mm.
who were the co-founders. So when they were studying people who were expert communicators, people who were able to create change
Mm.
in others,
Mhm.
they studied people who had the ability to be able to communicate in a certain way,
Okay.
right?
Mm.
And universally, mothers top that list. They just know exactly how to say, what to say, when to say it. And a lot of times, they are not going to some mother's school to learn how to speak to learn how to speak language in a particular way.
Right.
You follow? So it
Yes.
does not matter whether it is English or Hindi or any language, whatever language they may be speaking, whether they are educated or not. most often, mums are some of the best examples of how NLP is in motion.
Exactly.
NLP is in action,
Exactly. Yes.
right? So
Yeah.
that's one example where, and I want this to be as, what's the word for it? As accessible as possible. So when you think of your mom, that's a great example of someone who practices NLP, right?
Yeah. I'll give you
Obviously,
an example in between. Yeah.
go ahead.
Yes. Uh, Whenever your mom is scolding you, okay.
Mm-hmm,
In my case, though, from the morning she
mm-hmm,
starts till I
mm-hmm,
go to the bed at night. Okay,
mm-hmm,
because every time there is something or the other thing. So she knows. One day she was scolding so much, and she was using. And later on, I have asked, her, "Are you taunting me or are you seriously scolding me?" Then she told me, "Can't you understand, even differentiate between this? Because sometimes the schooling becomes so monotonous that I know that this will come after this,
mm,
this will come after that." So then I thought, then she was saying, "Yeah, I'm taunting you. This is the this." She knows that if she taunts me, I will do that.
mm,
Otherwise, it will be not happening. So yeah, that is what is resonating. I can
mm.
understand now why you always speaks about this, because I have been in various platform with you. I heard that you just the best, who is the best NLP. Then you always say, "I know that, I know this, that is the mom." But why now I am able to understand why you are talking about. You're giving
So
their example.
to put this into context, it's like I said, our mums are the world's best hypnotists. By that I mean that they are able to set a context in a certain way where most often, not all the time, but most often they are able to get their point across. Okay.
Right.
There are exceptions in everything. It
Hmm.
is like saying even the world's greatest hypnotist or NLP practitioner, will they succeed every single time? No. It is like saying, coming to the next example,
Hmm.
NLP is used and hypnosis is used a lot in sales, right? Now,
Hmm.
what is sales at the end of the day? It is about how can you make the other person feel good.
Right, exactly. Yes.
And in feeling good, when they associate
Hmm.
what you are offering,
Hmm. Right.
so that you will continue to feel good, that's when we buy, right?
Ah.
So if you force somebody to buy something,
Hmm.
maybe it'll work once,
Hmm.
but it will not work every time.
No.
But on the other hand, if you can make somebody feel good,
Hmm.
right? And you're showing them that this product or this service that you're offering is going to make them continue to feel like this. Or when you're buying this product, even in the future, you will feel like how you're feeling right now.
Okay.
That is classical NLP. To use the expression, you're basically creating an anchor. This is
Hmm.
the technical terminology. You're using an anchor,
Hmm.
you're creating an anchor, and
Hmm.
that every time when they see your product, they get the same feeling, which is why some products we like, some products not so much,
Right.
right? Because in sales, 90% of what we are doing as an activity is feeling.
Hmm.
10% is the justification that, yeah, I'm okay to pay X because I know I will guarantee that I feel a certain way. So when it is done in the right way, we continue to want to pay to continue to have that feeling,
Right. Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So this, if you take this principle, this philosophy, you can apply it into every part of whether it's business, every activity, right? Whether it's HR, whether it is sales, whether it's marketing, whether it's advertising, whether it's accounts, finance, whatever. Every part taps into this core principle.
Okay.
Like how do relationships happen and how do relationships break down? It's the same thing. If I can make you feel good, you will continue to do what you're already doing, right?
Right.
If I
Yeah.
can make you feel bad, you will stop doing it.
Yes.
Like, why is it that people like to go to the gym? Because it makes them feel good.
Mm.
And if I am able to convince you, frame it in such a way that feeling bad is also a good thing. Like when, what is that? No pain, no gain. That's
Mm.
again another example. If you believe that no pain, no gain, then you will keep going to the gym. Most people do not believe that, which is why after the first research says the first 3 to 4, 3.5 weeks of the month of Jan, most people stop believing in no pain, no gain. And they quit their gym subscription,
Right.
right?
Mm. Yeah. Actually, that's true. I never go to the gym, but sometimes what exactly happened, no?
Yes.
That is the freehand exercise. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That is you recently took the push-ups, not recently,
Right?
1 year ago, I think. It
No, no,
is
it's
now going.
been, push-ups has now been close. We are almost at 100 days.
Yeah, 100 days. Yeah, I am I am just, I was punctual at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, I just stopped because 5 days break was there, and then I return. Means after this
Mm-hmm.
5 days break, again, there is a lot of break which is happening because
Mm-hmm.
the consistency goes right. Because when you are consistent, means in this case, what exactly as you are, as we all know that the consistency is the key of success. As you
Right.
taught me, actually, I was not previously knowing about it. So
Mm.
when the consistency starts again, again I think from today onwards I'm religiously took that I will be doing it. Okay, again if it is this the consistency, but in our case it breaks, right? So how to get back, because the person who have started a career in or you can say a business in this coaching business,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and took a break for 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
again they are starting,
Mm-hmm.
right? They think that I already lost hopes,
Mm-hmm.
right? And in this case, to get back their hopes in this
Mm-hmm.
profession,
Mm-hmm.
how NLP, in this case, my question is how NLP and hypnosis after
Mm-hmm.
the break will give
Mm-hmm.
them that strength to imbibe their business, means to recover
To
their
to
discipline.
restart and
And
recover, right? Okay.
right.
So, different ways of answering the question. The simplest would be, again, going back to the basics, which is, what are you telling yourself?
Okay.
If you're constantly, like in Hindi, there's that expression to koso yourself, right? If you are constantly cursing yourself
Uh,
for being, or you're constantly calling yourself a loser, it's like, oh, why did I do that? I shouldn't have done that. So if the language is past based, meaning if you're constantly saying, oh, I should have not quit, or I should not have stopped. So if you're constantly thinking only about the past in the context of failure, in the context of loss, that is when you're not able to be present.
okay.
So to put it another way, this is the P part of the NLP, right? So there's the neuro part, which we'll come to in a second. Then
Mm,
we just talked about the linguistic or the language, and
mm,
the P, which is the programming,
mm,
has everything to do with, it's like, think of it like this. If you are planning to go on a journey,
mm.
right?
Yeah,
You plan your journey.
absolutely.
You know where I'm going, it's going to be either cold or hot. It's going
Mm.
to be smooth terrain or rough or rocky terrain or sandy terrain or whatever it is, correct?
Ah, correct.
So obviously, it does not matter what you are doing till now.
Mm,
Maybe you went on a different journey before, but
mm,
now as you're preparing for the new journey,
mm.
if you plan as, okay, what is this new terrain going to look like?
Right.
Then you will have not as many surprises as, oh, last time I did it, this time also it will be like that. Making sense?
Yeah.
So the P or the programming is where you are doing your homework.
Mm,
You know that last time I was able to do the business for 6 months, but then something happened and I stopped.
mm,
This time when you're restarting,
mm,
you're planning in keeping in mind that in 6 months, I want to continue to be doing it. So what am I going to do to ensure that I will keep going? Maybe it's in the context of having working capital, right? So for a lot of us as digital coaches and healers, if we don't consider having working capital, sooner or later we will run out of money.
Right, exactly.
So what are you doing to ensure that even 6 months later you will have money?
Right.
And a lot of this has to do with you yourself have been through the program, so you know what I'm talking about. But for a lot of people who may or may not know this, it's also about your money mindset, your money blueprint, as they call it, right?
Right.
Which means that we have a certain mapping when it comes to money
Mm.
that most of us learn when we are kids, when we are young, very young, in fact, right?
Mm.
So if for some reason you stopped 6 months ago and now you're restarting,
Right.
are you ensuring that in the future you will have a different approach to money?
Absolutely.
If you don't, then all you'll be doing is repeating that process over and over again. Now, simple question, how do I know this?
Because you have been through that process.
Because I myself have had
Uh,
those experiences,
yeah.
that when you have, especially when it comes to building a business,
Mm.
when you have experiences, are you accounting for those experiences or are you discounting those experiences? Most of us, especially when it comes to being digital coaches and healers, most of us have, or let's say there is a large percentage of us who are very, very altruistic, very, very super optimistic, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
so we do not necessarily want to factor in what actually happened.
Yeah.
And so history repeats itself
Absolutely.
until you're willing to recognize that, oh, yeah, I had that experience. There was a reason why, even though I loved doing what I was doing, I
Mm.
stopped. So let me be mindful of it so that now, as I'm preparing to go again into doing this, I'm able to be like it's I'm going to be more prepared this time,
Okay.
right? It's
Yeah.
like, what is that? There's an expression in English. Um, Forewarned is forearmed,
Okay. Like,
meaning, in a simple language, it's like you know that if you do the same thing you did the last time, you'll have the same result. Right?
yeah.
What is
Yeah.
that expression? Um, uh, it's like when you repeat something over and over, it's what's it? It's a sign of not madness. There's an expression for it, but basically it's like if you repeat the same action over and over again,
Hmm.
right?
Insane activities. Yeah.
Insanity. That's the, so it's like if you're repeating the same action over and over again, that is, as they say in the classical psychology, it's a sign of insanity.
Right.
It just means that you're not able to factor in
Hmm.
what's happening, and it's like you're doing the same thing with the expectation of different results. That is the expression. That is a sign of insanity. If you're doing the same thing expecting different results, that is a sign of insanity.
Right.
To go back to
Okay.
your question, just to close the loop,
Uh,
therefore, make sure
mm.
that you plan differently when you're coming back in the next time,
Right.
right? Like for many years, I wanted to create content, but
Mm.
I would do maybe, 2 weeks, 2 months, maybe max, 5 months, and then I would stop
Mm.
until I decided that I was very clear about why I want to do this content.
Mm.
And that
Uh,
is why today, like I've literally created more than 500 videos
yeah.
doing, one video a day,
Mm.
right? So it is possible as long as you're willing to be mindful of your terrain, where you're going, and of course, where were you before?
Yeah. Interesting. Now, your next question, because when I meet you, I have thousands of questions, and
Mm,
you say, huh, this interestingly, I know this podcast is not basically for me and you, for the
correct,
masses, right?
correct,
This
correct.
I can get you anytime, right? Because we have our sessions and how we get, because as the language, as you are talking about, but we can, and as we are learning from you in a very, you are just explaining us in a very simple way, right?
Mm,
Breaking into a simpler formulation, because the in the complex world, no, we are
mhm,
already very confused. This
mhm,
CC comes complex with the complexity, with the complex with the confusion. But
mhm,
once you are simplifying this in a, because you, when we are with you in your sessions, we never feel that some technical things, right? We are, you are simplifying us in such a way that it is exactly for us to observe and to practice. It is
mm,
not like going to visit to your again to your, but it's just we need the guided meditation. That's the
mm,
reason we need it. Otherwise, we, you are teaching us in such a way that it is getting directly absorbed in our subconscious mind.
mm.
So definitely, Miss, and I would surely share the link of Telegram as well as the, yeah. Just before I go to the next question, just explain them what exactly they will get it, the benefits if they're joining your upcoming events from Miss
So
upcoming
let me put
program.
it like this.
Yeah.
For people who have not yet, let's say for people right now who are watching, maybe we've never met before, maybe you've not attended any of my programs, or you've not watched any of my videos that I've created or the podcasts that I've created. This Telegram group has been created with the intention of helping you become more aware of, okay, what exactly is NLP, what exactly is hypnosis, you know, how can I use it in my life, especially, of course, on the one hand, if you are a practitioner, or let's say you are a healer, or you're a, coach, wanting to be a mentor to other people. And it could be in any of the, like what I call the 5 streams, right? So you may have chosen to focus specifically on health or wealth, say relationships, spirituality, or life's purpose, right? These are like the typical areas where coaches today, healers today want to work and help other people, because they've experienced when they were, on their journey, people helped them. And so today they want to help other people. That is the environment that we're in today, right? More so than before. So depending on who you are and where you're on the journey, if you feel that you're looking for a new tool, if you feel that you want a space where you are held accountable, or where someone will be there to help you on your journey, then yes, this Telegram group will definitely help you, because you will get access to the latest information on NLP, on hypnosis. And this year, in fact, we are going to be rolling out a cohort, in fact, in a couple of days. In April, we will be starting the first cohort of the program, which is called the IHNLP Practitioner Program. It's a 90-day program. Again, if this is something that you feel you're ready to do, that you want to learn, um, the basics, the foundation level of hypnosis and NLP, and of course, you'll be able to apply it not only for yourself, but when you're working with your clients, right? So these are some of the places where you can benefit by using it. Um, and I know this because I myself have been on this journey now for quite a while. So I know that as trainers, as coaches, as healers, we are looking for either more tools or sharper tools, right? And so this Telegram group has been created as like a landing ground. So you come there, you can ask your questions, you can, there are Zoom sessions that happen from time to time. So you can get to meet other members, you can ask me questions live. And, if and when you're ready, you can always be part of the programs that I'm running.
Okay. So I know here maximum coaches who will be
Mm-hmm.
watching are parenting coaches.
Mm-hmm.
So here for them, how NLP, because this question comes as a parenting coach or a
Mm-hmm.
business coach
Mm-hmm.
or some, when we are segregating courses like this,
Okay.
how it is NLP and hypnosis will be practically used in their business.
So look at it like this. You are now in a position to learn how to strengthen the language that you're using. So, in the most basic sense, if you want to be more persuasive as a coach, as a parenting coach, or a life coach, or a business coach, or even to an extent as a healer, if you want to be more persuasive, which means you're using language, the skills, the fundamentals of NLP, as well as hypnosis, will help you be more persuasive, right? In the most basic sense, it's like you can speak a better quality of language. And again, this is not limited only to English. What you're learning are the fundamentals, which translate very, very easily and simply into any and all languages. So it could be any language you can think of. The words that you're the words that you're learning, the frame is what will which is the frame is what can be used in any language.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. So next question is, how do you effectively build rapport and trust with the clients or participants, and why it is foundation in NLP and hypnosis work?
Okay, so let's look at a little bit of context here,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Um, how do you effectively build rapport and trust?
Huh.
So I would answer it like this. Even before you're looking externally to build rapport and trust, you got to start with yourself.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
which is why even when you're learning NLP and you're learning hypnosis, about 80% is self application,
Yeah.
right? So you're learning to apply it on yourself. Of course, when you're learning it in an environment where there are other students, you will get to practice. So it is practical because you get to practice with each other. But the
Exactly.
important thing here is that you are learning to be more aligned to yourself, to your values, to your um, integrity. To It's like saying, if you don't trust yourself,
Huh.
you will find it one of the hardest things to do, which is to build trust with other people,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
right?
Mm.
If you are not in rapport or alignment with yourself, it'll be very hard to do that with other people.
Yes.
So the question is very, very powerful, which
Mm.
is, as you said, how do you effectively build rapport and trust with clients or participants? But I would say there is one layer before that, one level before that, which is to focus on creating and building that trust and rapport with yourself, right? And that's
Yes.
why the skills, the tools, that's why today it's like literally 17 years later, I'm at this point right now where I'm teaching this for
Yes.
more people to be able to learn it, to practice it, and then to apply it. And
Okay.
the more you learn, practice, and apply it, not only with yourself, but with more and more people as you speak, you will become more fluent. And when you become more fluent, you will enjoy it more, right? It's
Yes.
like when you're learning any language, you're learning any foreign language, the more you absorb, the more you immerse yourself in learning the language, and then you play with it, you have fun with it, that is what makes this whole experience enjoyable. And here's the thing, rapport and trust happens only when you're really enjoying it,
Right.
right? It's like,
Uh,
if you remember in school or college,
mm.
our lecturers or teachers who enjoyed their subject
Mm.
were the ones that we remember even now. The
Right.
ones for whom it was a job, for
Mm.
whom it was, we need to get portions done, and it was only about getting portions done,
Yeah.
right? Those are the classes we hated, or we
Yes.
hypnotized ourselves to
Yeah.
leave the classroom.
Yeah.
Physically we were here, but mentally we were million
Interpret.
miles away,
Yeah. Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So we have time only for one more question, so make it
Yeah.
good.
Yes. That's ha. Yeah. I'm just coming to that
Because I know
point.
you have hundreds of questions, but we have
Yeah.
time exactly for one question today.
Yes. I'm there to. Yeah. I'm there to tell this only. Yeah. So this is not the end because we are coming live in LinkedIn and Twitter. Okay, because I have 100 questions that he
Mm.
knows. Uh, That's the reason I am just coming with one question. I am mindful about the time, that how do you assess a, right? Okay, I have already thought. Yeah. So first question is, how do you tailor NLP techniques and hypnosis inductions to suit individual clients' needs and preferences? The last
How do
question.
you ensure
No, no. How do you tailor NLP
tailor? Okay, how do
tailor,
you tailor?
tailor NLP techniques and hypnosis inductions to suit individual client needs and preferences?
Okay, it's a
Yeah.
good question. Let me just also clarify what we mean by this, because some of this is technical jargon, right?
Mhm.
Which
Okay.
is fair point, but I'm just clarifying it. So for people who don't know,
Okay. Yeah.
what do we mean by hypnosis inductions, right?
Mm-hmm.
The simple way to explain this is to become or to be in the most receptive state. It's like saying, before you eat a good meal, if you prepare the table well, the quality of even the experience of eating will be much higher.
Right.
Correct? Whether
So,
it's the aromas, whether it's the lighting, whether it's the tableware, all
mm,
of those are equally, if not more important, in building an environment
mm,
where when you eat, that food has like 10 times more um, power.
yeah. Exactly.
Correct?
Yeah.
Versus when we are eating on the go, when we're rushing, or good bad example, but when we are eating good food, but we've got our screen in front of us, or we are fighting with people and eating, you can't enjoy the food the same way.
Right.
Yes?
Yes.
Right?
Exactly. Uh,
So an induction in that sense is setting an environment
mm,
where you are most receptive
mm,
to suggestion.
exactly. Yes.
Okay. So the word is suggestion.
Mm,
And whether it is in NLP, whether it is in hypnosis, this word, if you ask me, is the one, if you take away one thing today, it's this, right?
yeah,
It's like when we were growing up
mm,
and our parents said something to us that, oh, you must do this.
mm,
Most of us, we didn't want to do it.
right.
But the same thing that was said by our friends
Uh,
who were like us teenagers, we
mm,
would like listen to it like it was, to use that expression, it was the
uh,
gospel truth. कि हाँ
yes.
अरे यार सही बोला हाँ हम ये
Exactly.
करना चाहिए,
Yes. Yeah. Like
right?
that. Yeah. Exactly.
Same thing said, but
Mm,
said differently, because the environment was what was set in a way where in one environment it was like, yeah, like this is a no-brainer. In the other environment, there was like this whole conflict, and there was a lot of pushback that would happen, right?
yes.
So why am I saying all of this? Your question was, how do you tailor techniques and inductions?
Mm,
It's this idea, which
mm,
is, once you have set the table,
mm,
then your technique or your induction or the process will happen automatically,
mm, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So with that, I'm also being extremely mindful of today's
Uh,
session,
yeah.
because I had also mapped my time.
Yeah.
So we will definitely be back for more, I'm sure. As you said, you've got Twitter and you've got
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn where you
Yeah.
want to, do this. So we will definitely do that. But for
Yeah.
today, we will pause here.
Yes.
You're more than welcome to share the Telegram link for
Yes.
people who want to ask questions and continue this conversation in our community. They're
Yeah.
more than welcome to join.
Yes. So I'll share the link tree. In there only the link is there, right? Link tree link
You
I have
could share the link tree, or I have sent you
the Telegram
the
link.
Telegram link, so you can
Okay.
share it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fine. So I'll just share in the group. Not in the group. I'm just sharing in the description.
got
So
it.
you can click and just join and learn, because as mentioned, Rahul is having a lot of ideas because he has undergone certain things more than us. So just experience, learn, and grow. This is what the way, and we are ending up because watchful and timeful with the time.
Yes.
So yeah. So thank you very much, Rahul, for
Most
coming.
welcome, and thank you, Devasmita. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Take
Thank
care.
you. Yeah.
Bye bye.
we are winding up for this, and today we have Rahul, and we have thought of this launching for the LinkedIn as well as for this as well for tutor. We will be taking a leap for this. So hopefully you, if you enjoyed, and if I will be sharing the link in the description, click and join, and in the comment section also. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you. And just want to know your things. Is I'm audible and visible? If it is AV, just mention. If it is AV, just mention. If it is AV, just mention. अच्छा कमेंट सेशन দিয়ে দিচ্ছি এর পোস্ট আমি এখানে চিন্তায় পড়ে গেছিলাম সব উল্টো পাল্টা হয়ে যাচ্ছে আমার ফোন কোথায়? গেল হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ কোথায় শেষ হয়ে গেছে চলে গেছে কতক্ষণ তোমাকে ধীরে ধীরে থাকবে আর এখানে এগুলো চলে গেছে অনেকক্ষণ বেশি না টাইম ওটা না ও সবসময় করে না তো এমনি ওর মতোই দেখতে না আদর মতোই দেখিস আর বলছি ওই জন্য যাচ্ছি ওই যাচ্ছি না না সবসময় করে আমি ওই জন্যই দেখতে এলাম আর আজকে আবার ডিউটি একটুখানি আমাদের তো পয়সা পয়সা দেবে আহ কি করি আবার খাবি দেখবো আমি আমাকেও দেখতে হবে আমাকে দেখতে এটা এটা ছিল তারপরে আরো অনেকে আমার একটা প্রশ্ন যারা জানবে তুমি বলো আজকে শিখে আসো না কারণ শিখে আসবে আর এই যে আজকে এটা নিয়ে কথা হচ্ছিল তো আজকে একটা জিনিস তো ওটা পাওয়ার কোয়েশ্চেন ওরা 12 কোয়েশ্চেন আছে তো যে আরো কোয়েশ্চেন আমি কোয়েশ্চেন গুলো ও বললো আমাকে যে ধরো এই যে আমাদের ক্লাসের যখন যেগুলো হয় না তো আচ্ছা এই ছেঁড়া এই যেটা এটা তোমার লাগবে না ছেঁড়া চাদরটা রেখে ওটাকে বাইরে বের করে দিলে কিছু একটা প্রতুত্তর করে দিয়ে বের করে দিতে পারি ছোট পণ্যে সব ছেঁড়া চাদর ঠাকুর বাইরে বার করে ছেঁড়া চাদর কি এটা ইয়ে হয়ে গেছে সেরকম ভাবে তো ছেঁড়া এর উপর থেকে ইয়েগুলো ছিঁড়ে যাচ্ছে ওই রকম ছেঁড়া এই ছেঁড়া
সেরা জিনিস গরমের এই কালে তাদের কথা পাকবে না, না পাকতেই ভালো। এটা এখান থেকে ছিঁড়ে যাচ্ছে। তুই কি করছিস? তুই কি কি সব জিনিস রাখছিস? সেইগুলো কাজে দিচ্ছিস। এইটা একটা গোটা চাদর ওপর থেকে ছিঁড়ে গেছে, ফেলে দাও। সিঙ্গেল বেডশিট বেড কভার পাওয়া যায় না আজকাল। বেডশিট হয়ে গেছে। এই লাস্ট বেড কভার আমার কাছে ঘুরে আছে, আর কারোর কাছে পাওয়া যায় না।